Hmm.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 3. My name is Husna Khairani.
My name is Najwa Rahmdani.
My name is Audrey Syakira Anjani.
My name is Natthawut Aooseongan.
And today we are going to talk about grammar and vocabulary. So I think I'm going first. What is the definition of grammar actually? Grammar is a set of lists about do's, don'ts, and rules that tell us what we should say or what we should write in a language. And well, if a grammar that make distinction between like incorrect and correct form is called prescriptive grammar. And the one that do not make distinction between the form, rather it aim to like present, describe language in the way it is usually, is called descriptive grammar. And as in applied linguistics, we tend to use pedagogical grammar, which is more similar to descriptive grammar than prescriptive grammar. And for the next one, we will describe issues when describing grammar. The first one is which rules of grammar to be described, right? And so grammar has both like fixed rules, like the order of verbs, helping verbs, and also the flexible one, maybe like the subject-verb agreement, which has some exception. So in this, it is actually what include in grammar is actually depends on who it is for. Some people tend to like only include formal grammar and correct English, and the other also include informal grammar and everyday speech. And different views about grammar also like whether it is spoken or written will also affect the way grammar is taught in school. And the next is like form and function. So different types of grammar models has and or serve different function. Like let's take the example of formal grammar. So it is usually talk about what it is called the sentence structure, right? And it is we have Chomsky in this one that introduced the concept of generative grammar, which is about how we build sentences by our mental rules, which is called competence. And it is usually only focused on how sentences are built, not how it is used. But Himes later introduced the concept of functional grammar, which is adds the idea about communicative competence, not only competence, but communicative competence. So it is like how grammar is used in different situations. And then we have different types of grammar. The first one is discourse grammar. So corpus studies have led to more interest to discourse grammar, which is how grammar works in a larger scale, not only sentences, but in a text. So that's what discourse grammar mainly about. And it is actually, do you guys know like the Celso Mercia? I read that before in the book. So he and other linguists said that discourse grammar is important in nowadays situation. And for the written and spoken grammar, so linguists in corpus studies have highlighted key differences between this one, and it raised such important question like how should we describe grammar? And some other linguists also argued that we have to pay more attention to spoken grammar because it is also important in teaching. And there's a linguist called McCurdy, if I'm not mistaken. So he argued that if we only focusing on the written text, the formal form, we will leave out many important things that we can see, that we can find in everyday speech, everyday English spoken speech. And then after that, we have the limitation of grammatical description. So the concept is like, no matter how deep our research is, we cannot fully explain grammar in independent. Like we cannot fully explain it in a single form because it is highly connected to other part of languages, and it also connected to like the interdependence between for grammar and lexis. So it is basically said that vocabulary and grammar have like highly linked, because some vocabulary have limitation for grammar that we can use that prove that grammar sometimes depends on vocabulary. And then after that, we have learning and teaching and grammar. So for the learning in the mid 20th century, if I'm not mistaken, learning grammar was seen as a forming habit like that through repetition, and the teachers mainly directly tell the student what to do. But in the modern ways, we're not only like in learning. Oh my God, I forget. So in learning, in nowadays, we not only through repetition, but we involve with vocabulary, with grammar in actual problems. They highlighted in text and use problem solving, involve problem solving in the process of learning. Yeah, our mistakes also viewed as a part of learning. And for the teaching, in the old days, as I said before, the teachers directly tell the student what to do, like, right? So we do not have much to explore. But in nowadays, teachers help students to realize what they are learning, not only realize on memorizing the rules. And it also involves the problem solving skills. And after that, we have which vocabulary to learn. So in determining which vocabulary a learner should learn, it is important to consider both like their needs and also how useful the vocabulary are, how useful the words are. And if we are specializing in a certain field, it is also important for us to know about and to learn about the technical vocabulary, because it usually make up from 20 to 30% of the text. So we have to ensure that ourselves know the technical vocabulary to understand the text. And after that, we have the how vocabulary should be learned. It is actually divided into 4 points. The first one is meaning, focus, input. It is involve listening and also reading. And for the second one, we have meaning, focus, output, which is involves speaking and also writing, and also deliberate vocabulary learning. So we intentionally study the vocabulary. And the last point is about fluency development. So yeah, developing fluency. That's how we usually use the word that we are already know. And the next point is about developing fluency with vocabulary across the 4 skills. So as I have mentioned before, in developing fluency, it's best for us to use the vocabulary that we are already know. So we can use 2 ways. First one is through repetition. So we say or write the same thing over and over again until we reach the fluency. Or we can implement it in real life by like use that vocabularies in different situations. And after that, guessing by context. So the more vocabulary we know, it will be easier for us to guess the meaning of a word. For example, I don't know the meaning of a word, but I know the surrounding words, and I can at least get some idea about the words that I don't know the meaning by connecting the meanings of the surrounding words. And the last point is about assessing vocabulary knowledge. So vocabulary test is used to different purposes. Maybe to know how many words someone knows, or what they have just learned, or what they have learned in the past, or even to know what their weaknesses and strengths. We can use such technique like vocabulary level test, vocabulary dictation test, or vocabulary size test. And that's all from me, guys. Who's next?
Mm.
You, boss?
Want to connect?
Yeah, you can go.
I think I can connect. Okay. So let's start to the first topics. What is the grammar? Grammar refer to the system or structure in the language, uh, include aspects, phonology, morphology, syntax, and semantics. The next topics, which rule of grammar to be described. In grammar has a lot of rules, so it's a part of speech. So next is the sentence and structure, and next is the tense and verb conjunctions, and next is the verb agreement, pronoun uses, and punctuation rules, and next is article determines, and modifier, prepositions, clause and phrase, and present tense, passive and active. And the last one is dialect and indirect speech. And there is all the rule of grammar. And next is form and functions in grammar. For in grammar function, in grammar forms refer to the rise to the structure or the type of the word, and the functions refer to its laws, is refer about the purpose in the sentence. And the next topic is the next topic is limitation. What is the next topic? Form and formix and
The types of grammar.
limitation.
Have you talked about the types of grammar?
Grammar
Types of grammar, the discourse and
type
written.
of grammar.
Yeah.
And next is a type of grammar, like maybe. There is a type of the grammar. In grammar can be analyzed in different ways, depending on how language is used in the communication or communicative. And in grammar have three type of grammars. First is a discourse grammar, and the second is support grammar, and the last one is writing grammar. Discourse grammar is refer like the sentence are connected. For the examples, A persons, I saw John yesterday, and B person answer, oh really, how is he? And oh really refer to the discourse marker. And next is the spoke grammar. Spoke grammar is informal and interactive. For the examples, so I was trying, something like that. And next is the writing grammar. Writing grammar is opposite of the spoken grammar. Is more informal and structured. For examples, I was extremely tired after a long day, so I went to bed early. And the next topic is limitations. Grammatical description have limitations. In this topic is study around like they overlook in the informal sentence or slangs, which mean depend which means although you know the rules of the grammar, but in the real conversations they prefer to use informal sentence or slangs. Something like that. And next is the learning and teaching grammar. In this topic, study about learning and teaching in grammar in different approaches. First had two main approaches. First is deductive learnings, and the second is inductive learnings. Deductive learning is mean like learning the first, then applying them. And next is the inductive. Inductive means observing example first, then learning rules. And next is the teaching in grammar. Teaching in grammar it has four different approaches. First is explicit teachings. Explicit teaching means instructor directly on grammar rule first, and next is implicit teaching. Implicit teaching means learning grammar by natural by using speaking, writing, and reading. And next is communication. Communicative approach. Communicative approach is if you like study grammar, but by have real communication. And next is the task-based on learning. Task-based on learning means learning grammar by doing activity. And next is about the vocabulary lines. So for the first topics, what vocabulary should be learned? Actually, this topic is depend on some months. Like if you want to learn about dairy vocabulary, you should learn about it to order something. If you want to know about economy vocabulary, you should learn about it to have discussings with the lecturer. Yeah, it's really depend on someone. And next is sorry, next is what is next?
Which
What is the next
vocabulary to
topic?
learn?
Yeah, what vocabulary should be learned? How vocabulary should be learned? Vocabulary should be learned in the context by using flashcards or maybe regular readings, maybe practicing practicing writing, or maybe you can use applications to help you by reviewing. Yeah, something like that. And next is what's next? The next is which the next topic again?
A bit,
Was
Developing.
yeah.
yeah.
Developing.
Developing fluencies with vocabulary across both skills. This topic study about the both skills that help us to develop our vocabularies fluency. And the first skill I have taught is listening and talking, reading and writing. Okay, and the next topic is
Guessing context by cues.
casting. It's like casting, like it's a casting from context and using context clue. Casting from context and using context clue. And using context clue helps us determines defining the meanings that's unfamiliar words without using dictionaries. And it have four strategies. First is recognitions. Right. Definition. So it's a definition clue. And the second is the synonym, and then the antonym, and the last one is in inference. Inference. Uh, definition clues mean where the meaning is directly explained in the sentence. And next, the synonym is mean provide similar words, and antonym is mean offer the opposite words for the contrast. And the last one is inference. Inference means like you need to understand all hours the sentence and just get it by yourself. And for the next topic is accessing vocabulary knowledge. Accessing vocabulary knowledge. Let's see vocabulary knowledge. Uh, okay. These topics study about like vocabulary knowledge can be accessed in different ways, and I think it's have both ways. But is the recognition test. Recognition test is mean like answering multiple choice. Multiple choice like the exams. Yeah, and next is the what production examinations is feel like filling the blanks. Yeah, feel something like that. And next the last is before the last is oral examination. It feel like oral assessment is feel like right the learner demonstrates the vocabulary through speaking. Yes, that's, and the last one is word or word associated. Word association. Word associations mean like identify words, like what does mean, something like that. I think that is all for me.
Okay, thank you so much, boss. You brought so much information. So guys, who's next? Didier Najwa?
Okay, I think I'll go next.
Okay, the
Okay,
screen is yours.
Okay, the first is definitions about grammar itself. Grammar is syntactical or morphological rules of language that organizing how the words form and construct. Okay, and then next is about the rules that describe a grammar. First is the auxiliaries is invariant, and then grammar in the intended use for writing, especially in a writing formal. And then there is a form and the functions of the grammar. First is the model of the grammar. It depends on how they are used. Is it the formal grammar or a functional grammar? For formal grammar is more focusing on the form and the structure and how it can operate at the overall system of grammar. For example, it's like the traditional grammar. And then there is types of grammar. First is a discourse grammar. So discourse grammar is more considering how structure contribute to the meaning in conversations or text. And then there's a spoken and written grammar. Spoken grammar often differs in the structure and formality. And and then there is the limitations of grammar description. Actually, I don't really understand about this, but I think I will skip to the next part, to the learning and teaching grammar. So the learning and teaching grammar first can be from the habit formations. Teaching is more focused on drills like repetition, substitution, transformations, and then there is rule formations. is like discovering testing rules. It's like learner are active thinkers, not passive repeaters. And then next is which vocabulary to learn. First is the high frequency words that is used in vocabulary, and then there's an academic vocabulary, and then there's a technical vocabulary, and then how the vocabulary should be learned. There is a four standard approach. First is the meaning focused input, is like listening and reading. And then there is a meaning focused output, like speaking and writing. And then there's language focused learning. And then there is a fluency development. Next is developing fluency with vocabulary across the four skills. So fluency is developed when learner use known words in a familiar context. Example like speed reading, speaking tasks, repeated listening, or like that. And then there is actually I forgot the topic. About the developing I already
Oh my God. Then guessing.
guessing from context. Okay. I forgot about that part. Okay, I think I skipped to the assessing vocabulary knowledge. So there's a vocabulary size test, and then vocabulary level test, and a productive level test. It's to measure the ability to produce vocabulary itself. I think that's it for me, from what I know.
Okay, thank you so much, Audrey.
Okay.
The next is yours. Najwa, the screen is
Okay.
yours.
The first material is definition of grammar, right? So grammar itself is the system of the rule that organize language words. So I think there are three main types. The first one is like perspective grammar is tell us how language should be used, like formal rules like that, and prescriptive grammar. It tell us eh descriptive grammar is explain how is language actually used in real life by the speakers. And the last one is I think I forgot that name, but is grammar used in language teaching. Like it combines both of and focuses on how the grammar accurately.
I
Like
think it is
that.
pedagogical.
Yes. Yeah. Pedagogical. Okay. The second learning foci is which rules of grammar to be described, right? So grammar includes both like in invariant rules like the fixed order of moral and primary like that, and the second one is flexible rules the third one is form and function, right? The form is the structure, what the grammar looks like verb tense, sentence type, like that. And function is how grammar grammar used in real communication, like making a request or stating a fact, like that. The fourth one is the type of grammars, discourse grammars, and spoken and written, right? Discourse is grammar in large context, uh, not just in use in the sentences, but it's used in across whole text or conversation, like that. And Second one is spoken grammar. The spoken grammar is more flexible and informal, like sentence fragment like that, repetition. Okay, next one is written grammar is usually more structured, right, and formal. The fifth one is lim limit limitation of grammar description. uh is mainly expression, right? Like take a nap. Right. By the way, like that, don't follow a simple grammar rules, but are stored like for formula like that. So the next one is like the kinds of fixed or semi-fixed. Yes, right.
I didn't read about that, but you can continue.
I forget. I think the line between the grammar and vocabulary is showing that limits of traditional rule based on the grammar description like that. Okay, the sixth one is learning and teaching grammar. The different approaches have been used over time, like behaviors is learning through the and repetition. I think it's a habit formation. And cognitive is a learning thought the rule that discover the hypothesis testing like that. Um, communicative. Communicative learning is a grammar through the meaningful interaction like that in real life use. The next one is emergency. Like the grammar developed naturally through that what you should use in the exposure in naturally like that. The seventh one is
Which vocabulary to learn?
which vocabulary to learn. Uh, I think it depends on the perspective, right? Like, vocabulary should be chosen based on like learner needs, uh, usefulness, like based on our daily what words are informed like that, like high frequency words like those in general surface list, academic vocabulary and technical vocabulary. So the eighth one is how, yeah, right, how vocabularies should be learned. I think the first one is meaning focuses input like reading and listening, and there are meaning focuses output like speaking and written and deliberate learning, right? Like using flashcard word list like that, and now so fluency development like practicing fast recall and use of non vocabulary like that. The next material is developing developing fluency with vocabulary across the four skills, right? Mm, I think to use the vocabulary fluently, we are need to practice like listening and reading to help about recognition, speaking and reading. Turn that to active use fluency can be developed. Um, and also repetition, like retelling a story, repeated reading, like that. Also use words in a wide variety, like different topics and settings, like that. So I think the fluency activity should involve familiar words and focusing on speed, flow, and message, not new vocabulary. So the next material is guessing from context or using context clue, right? So I think the first one, learners should guess the meaning of unknown word using context in reading or listening, like that. At least 95 until 98% known word in the text that we read, like that. And also enough for exposure, like reading, listening to large amount. And also we must need a practice using clue around the word, like general knowledge, like that. And the last one is assessing vocabulary knowledge. Okay, vocabulary can be assessed in different way, right? The first one is vocabulary size text, right? Like we must estimate the total word of knowledge, and also vocabulary level test, like uh to know that we are a master or not in the levels. And also productive level test, like measure how well learner can use vocabulary actively. And also yes or no test is a fast way, like a fast way to check a knowledge, like include the fake words for occurrence. And also the teacher can use a result to plan a better vocabulary instruction. So I think that's all from my reading.
Okay, thank you so much, Najwa. So, as you have mentioned before, guys, you have brought so many topics in this table, in this discussion. And I think it is really interesting because each of us point out different things. And so I think I have a question for all of you. Like, which one do you think more important, grammar or vocabulary? Just being subjective.
I think the vocab first.
I
As
think
a second language learner, we must know about the vocab, because when we make a sentence, before we make a grammar, nice grammar, we must know that the vocab that what we use to talk about, to the way out the words, and after that we can also make it perfect with a grammars, I think.
That's a good point, though. How about you, boss and Didi? Audrey?
for me, I think vocabulary.
Mm.
I mean grammar. Yeah, I
Oh,
think it's prefer grammar.
you think grammar? Okay,
Yeah,
that's interesting point. Why?
I think because during in the grammars, I think you might know about the basic word. I think it's it's easy to begin to begin to English. I think.
That's also interesting point. How about you, Audrey?
I think I agree with Najwa. It's vocabulary. Yeah.
That's all. So,
Yes, because when we talk about this something, uh we sometimes we do not how we pronounce it, like uh we do not know what a grammar is, like how the every word is combined, right? But also we can still understand how the speaker's meaning are, as the vocab is so clear, right?
yeah,
Clearer.
yeah, yeah. That's actually I am in the same boat as you because yeah, the basic purpose of language is to communicate, right? So I have heard this analogy before, like grammar is like a glue and vocabulary is the stick. So when you want to build something, let's say we only have vocabulary, means we only have the sticks. So we can still build something, right, out of the sticks.
Mm,
But
mm.
if we only know the grammar, what can we build only with glue? That's what I have heard somewhere.
Yes, I think so. I think that's like I said before, like we must know about uh 95 and until 98% in the words that we read or we learn.
So Audrey have to go. But I think it's not for 40 minutes yet. We start like in 7:11 or 12. So I think it's 2 minutes more, something like that. Yeah. I'm
I
sorry,
think
Audi, where are you going? Let's talk about it so to spend our
yes.
time.
I think we can end it at 8.
No. It is too long, I think. Because Audrey have to go. I
Oh,
think seven,
I think
7.
8 is 9 minutes left, right?
Yeah, but she has to go right now.
Oh, right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really have to go actually, but is
No.
what is it for
Please hold on for 2 minutes more.
Okay,
Yes.
it's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
So where are you going, Audrey? Let's
Actually, I'm going to somewhere that I'm not gonna tell you guys.
Oh.
Oh,
But
something
I think it's for
secret.
proposed, like I want to learn for tomorrow exam with my friends.
Hmm.
A study date.
No, I don't have any boyfriends. Okay.
I just say study date. I didn't mention boyfriend though.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So
But
study group.
Huh?
Study group.
Yes, that's true.
What's your exam for tomorrow? Translation and FLTC, I think.
Yes, I felt the same.
So that's
Oh,
what
wow.
approaches do you guys choose?
I
Uh,
think I will take uh his no moral and read the response
Okay.
because we need choose one for
yes.
traditional and one for modern, right?
Right.
So, are you guys also do a oral test?
Yes,
Yes.
we do have.
Oh,
I think because the FLTZ lectures have a group.
oh
And
yeah.
it's we
So they are all
yeah,
there.
all of the student that take this
Course.
this course it
Oh, I
have a same assignment,
Yeah,
oh,
same
I
same
think
examination, I
it's
think.
midterm
only
and
my
same.
class.
What?
I think it's only my class.
No,
No.
all of us have oral
Oh,
test.
wow. Good luck for us, guys.
Yeah. I
Yes,
think, yeah.
it's an
Yeah.
oral test.
How do you feel, guys? It's
I
nervous
feel like,
or
yeah, nervous because
yes.
We do not know what
what they will ask us.
yes, because in moral maybe in a story that we have a read like that, I think, but sometimes we
Forget about it.
But my
yeah
lecturer already give the questions, so it's
Oh
only
my God.
three.
Oh yeah, the like what we
The
call it, the syllabus, something like that.
syllabus.
But not the question, right?
not questions like example like first what is the literary
Literary
dynamic? Oh, it's already
You
same.
already have that?
yeah.
You have that?
Yeah, I think Bu Saswita has tell to us before, like wait
I think it's not the question, but the syllabus, like what will come tomorrow, like the general about literature and something like that. Then about the approaches that we choose, then the implementation, the
Oh,
example in short text, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, it's like
general
the
concept.
general concepts in literature.
Yeah, right. It's not the question, but
Oh, it's not a
the
question.
But as a series of question covering
that topic.
which mean that we
It might come tomorrow. What is literary? What is something like
God.
I hate that literary one.
What?
Yes, me
Oh my
too.
God, you had that?
No. I do not have had a spirit, but I think I will take the literary as my
On your
like
thesis?
no
On your what?
I my reading like my not 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 just like my what we call like
What?
we learn as a we learn not I just take it as
A
a
hobby.
yeah
Hobby.
habit
Oh,
yes
habit,
Oh,
yeah. Do you really have to go, Audrey? So I
yes.
think we can
Uh,
end it right
and
now,
this
guys. So I think I will stop the recording, and can you check it on your computer, Awa, whether the recording is on your computer on or mine. Thank you
okay
guys
Okay.
for your
okay.
attending and
Bye.
attention. Bye.
uh
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
this
wabarakatuh.
course it will
Okay.
be conduct at
What?
the Saturday, right?
Oh, the class.
Yes. No. The 3 days ago or 5 days ago?
For
Not this.
the deadline,
Yes.
The
uh,
deadline is I think in the in
16.
19.
Oh, 16.
For group in 19, but for the individual is 17,
Oh,
Yeah,
I think.
but it's not this night.
No,
The
no, no,
deadline.
no.
oh yeah.
So I'll upload it on YouTube though. So
Yeah.
I'll share the link to you guys.
Okay, guys. Thank you,
See you in the
guys.
morning, okay? Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.